Welcome back to Suncoast View. We are looking forward to a holiday weekend coming up. And whether you have some Labor Day travel plans or you're planning some trips coming up this fall, traveling as a pet owner can get a little hairy. Here with some practical planning tips to keep our pets safe and happy, we welcome Walter Beer, owner of Fetch Pet Care in Sarasota. Great to see you.
Hi, Joey.
And you brought a friend, a very well-behaved friend.
Hunter. Come on up. That's my baby, Hunter.
He's like,
He's like,
okay, sit.
Hunter's been so patient. Hunter wants to be with Walter, but he's being patient for the segment, of course.
Good boy.
Good boy.
Sit. Good boy. Okay.
All right, well, I'm glad you're here. We're talking about this because when it comes to specifically travel, I like the fact that we are not keeping our pets as an afterthought, that we're actually putting them in part of our planning to looking ahead.
Sit.
So, all right, so you brought us, and I love this, a packing list. So, you know, we of course pack ourselves. What types of things should we consider when we have our pets?
Well, a lot of people don't have a real plan for when they're traveling. And so you plan everything, your itinerary, where you're going and all this, but what about your pet? You should do the exact same thing with your pet. So I recommend having a travel bag like this. This is one of my clients' bags. And in this, it basically goes down the whole checklist. You have the whole thing from Snippet, which is, I don't know if I can get it in there, but that's Snippet. Snippet's a 5.5-pound Maltese that's being boarded with me right now.
So that's a printout of all the vaccination
all the
records,
vaccinations,
because
everything.
God forbid, but if there's an unexpected issue, you want to be able to prove.
Blue Pearl, which is local vet here, that's an emergency vet. So that's all this for this.
You know what I like about this too, and I hate to say it, I'm going to get picked on for this, but we're also still in hurricane season. So if you have all of the pets things in a bag, God forbid, you're ready to go in case we have to.
Well, last hurricane season, I was boarding 4 dogs, and I live on the water. We had to evacuate to my wife's, Jillian Schuler's house, at her family's house. And her brother-in-law allowed us, who bought the house, and it's in Lake Sarasota. It's got the rollways, and we had all these kits for all the dogs. How convenient! Because we knew a hurricane could be coming. Not that it was coming when they left, and these people were in Italy.
Well,
so
I like that we're talking about pack. I mean, it's the same concept even for a fun vacation. What else is in the packing list?
So let's say your dog or cat or whatever has medication. So you want to make sure that the meds are all in the same spot. You need to have a list. So let's say you have to bring the dog, hurricane season, let's say you have to bring it somewhere, or a vet, you want to have instructions in here. If something happens, you have to have all the instructions so someone else can do it, and then you've got it conveniently here. Even Band-Aids. You can get Band-Aids for yourself, but what happens if your dog is on a walk and gets scratched?
Never even thought of that.
And always bring antiseptic, the same stuff that you use on your hands. You can use on the dog, the antiseptic, like the what is it? The
antibiotic gel?
The gel, whatever. But basically the first aid kit, but get that on there first, the gel, and then put a Band-Aid on it, and then bring the dog to the vet.
So we've got our packing list. I love the idea of having it already in a bag. I do want to make sure to move on to something that's very timely for Stephanie. She just got back from taking the dog in the car. What should we consider when there is car travel with our dogs?
Oh, you want me to tell you everything? I mean, we had bowls, we had toys, we had all the things.
What are the safety issues?
This is the deal. When you are traveling, you should have what makes the dog comfortable. And so I recommend you have pee pads here, you have the leashes in here, you have lint things for me, you know, on this show. You have the poop bags, Ohio State.
Well, that wouldn't have made my dog comfortable. That would have made my dog ill.
Well, I don't know. You drove through Ohio. I didn't know.
I'm just kidding. Honestly, we brought a bed because we were taking a car trip. So we just built his bed into a seat belt.
His bed. And the major thing is take the leash off the dog.
In the
car.
car.
Not leave a leash on a dog. People make this mistake. If an SUV flips over, that leash gets caught. They could actually collapse their trach, or they can die. So what you can do is you can do that. They also have car-related clips that go into, so basically your seatbelt, so they've got movement, but they can't get out. Make sure to lock your windows, because Joey was telling me he was on this trip, this weekend, and his little dog is not as little now, was able to open and close the windows.
Yep. Oh, my
And I
goodness.
transport dogs all the time. I have 8 in my car. It's a Honda Fit, and I can fit 8 of them with the back down, which is weird.
Wow.
Sometimes I have for one family, small dogs, but in any case. But they were able to actually roll the windows down.
Yep.
So make sure that child protection, know that your dog is basically a 4-year-old kid.
That's a good point, yes.
And if you want to know about safety and potty breaks,
Boy.
let's say you're like, how long can you go without peeing? You know,
Surprisingly
20
not
minutes.
long. Yeah, no one will be
20 minutes,
surprised that works
whatever.
here.
So
I'm
you got
speaking for Joey.
yeah. Sorry, Joey.
No, it's true. Well, to that point, all right, now, so if our dog gets anxious, what are some things that we can do to try to get ahead of any pet anxiety when we're traveling?
Well, I mean, your dog needs to be familiar with the situation. So I would recommend, if you're going to go on a Labor Day weekend, take your dog on a 2-hour trip. See how he does on that trip. And then
Little trials before we
little
go.
trials,
Practice.
little practice runs to do that. They can get nauseous. I had a 5.5-pound pappy on my only daughter that died right after the hurricanes. I'm sorry. Sort of traumatic, but her name was Sookie. But every time we'd go to Orlando, she'd throw up.
Oh.
Every single time. We'd go to Orlando a lot. Now, she was fine in the car, but you have to see the signs. If they start panting and going, well, that means stop the car or pull over if you can. You know, if you can.
Sure.
You know, not
Safely.
safely, or a
Coming to see
highway.
you.
He's coming
He
to
misses
see
his
highway,
dad.
yeah.
He's such a good. All right,
Yeah.
now I want a quick question for the cat owners. What is your general advice if you're considering traveling? What should you do if you have a cat?
Well, I don't recommend it. Now, also with dogs, you can have carriers, like small dogs have carriers. If you're going to do a cat, have a carrier, but cats mainly should be not boarded anywhere. You can board them in a vet, but they get traumatized. They should be in the house.
Most cats like to
And
be
that's
home.
a service we do. So for our half-an-hour visit, we come in, we feed your cat, take care of your cat. Cats are very territorial, and they do not like to be in hotels.
That's good to
And
know, though. So
Yes, it
we
is.
sometimes we feel bad if we think we're going to leave them at home, but if it's a cat, chances are they most likely want to stay home. Great tips. Thank you as everyone's considering their travel for this weekend and beyond. If you have pet needs here on the Suncoast, from pet sitting, dog walking, even overnight care, visit fetchpetcare.com. We'll be right back.